Hey guys, and welcome back to the Midlife Awakening. This is a podcast about transformation for women who are waking up to who they really are while navigating everything that comes with midlife. I'm so glad you're here. Today we're diving into something I know so many of us have been feeling lately: the urge to get more organized, to bring order back into our days, and to reset the habits that have been dragging us down. And there's a reason for that. You've probably heard me mention the seasons before, and yes, I mean the astrological ones. And that is because I have a real love for astrology. So we're going to go a little astrology today. So even if you're not into astrology, think of it this way: each zodiac sign rules a season during the year. So there are 12 zodiac signs and there are 12 months in the year. So if you think about, if you were born between the 22nd of August and the 21st of September, you'd be a Virgo. That period is called Virgo season. So each season carries a certain energy that we can feel, whether we name it or not. And right now, we've stepped into Virgo season, which started on the 22nd of August. And Virgo's energy is all about the details, the daily rhythms, the small shifts that help us create more balance. So in this episode, we're talking about daily routines and habits. Now, this is not as a strict to-do list, but as a way to bring flow, energy, grounding, and alignment into your everyday life. So let's get into it. Hey guys, and welcome back to the Midlife Awakening podcast. My name is Adelia and I'm your host. I'm so grateful that you're here. If you're a regular listener, welcome back. I've missed you. And if you're joining me for the first time, I'm really glad that you found your way here. So I took a little break over the summer because I realized that that's what a lot of podcasts do. Listenership is down over the summer, and I thought this would be a great time for me to go inward and just refocus on myself and refocus on my habits and my routines and just really figure out, what do I want the next couple of months to look like before the end of the year. So it's no surprise that coming back this week, today's topic, we're diving into routines and habits. We're going to break these down so that we can better understand why we need them and what we can do to create better, healthier habits for ourselves and routines. So with all the schools going back this week and next week, almost everyone is saying the same thing to me. And even I'm saying the same thing. Having the kids at home for 6 weeks is crazy. I mean, it's great in the beginning because there's that bit of freedom. You don't have the chaotic mornings of trying to get everyone to where they need to be, on time, clean, dressed, bags packed, lunches packed, etc. But then you get to sort of the end of the summer and everyone says the same thing. We need our routines back. The kids need to get back into a routine. And so I thought this would be the ideal time to talk about this topic. Now, in my opinion, this period over the summer, towards the end of the summer, this need for a routine is sort of amplified by the fact that we are now in Virgo season. What did she just say? Virgo what? Okay, so I'm going to go a little astrological on you because I love astrology and it's literally what I do with anyone I talk to. I always refer back to astrology. Now, I would consider myself an astrologer, but I'm not a seasoned astrologer, so I'm going to keep it very basic. So as I explained in the intro, there are 12 zodiac signs that you will know: Virgo, Scorpio, Libra, Sagittarius, Pisces. You know the lot, right? And they each rule a period of time over the year. So there's 12 zodiac signs and there are 12 months of the year. And each zodiac sign rules a period over the year, and they each have a theme to them, right? And so when you're in that zodiac signs season, you sort of feel that theme amplified within yourself, especially if you've got those placements in your chart which are very pronounced and very powerful. But even if you don't, you will still feel sort of that energy. And so we went into Virgo season on August 22nd, and it's going to last until September 21st. So if you can't understand why over the last couple of weeks or since August 22nd, you've been feeling like, I need my routine, I need to get organized, I need to declutter, sort of those themes, that is because we're in Virgo season. So for me, I see that as an amplification of this need for routine. Routine is great. Too much of it is going to feel like it's impeding on our freedom. Too little of it, like we have over the summer holidays when the kids are home, then eventually we start going a little stir crazy. So why is that? And that's because, we need routine because it makes us feel grounded. It helps us feel grounded. So if you think back to like when you were in your 20s, we could wing a lot more than what we can now, right? Your body would bounce back a lot quicker. You could get very little sleep and you would barely feel it the next day. You could lose weight really easily, right? So you could have a complete pig out and put on weight and you could lose it really quickly. But as we start to head into midlife, this brings a whole host of other issues, should we say. Sorry, I'm moving around because I'm sort of chilling on my couch while I do this because I want it to feel really comfortable, like we're having a chat. So midlife brings like all these other shifts that happen in energy. So we've got, your shifts in energy, your shift in your hormones, your shift in your relationships, in your responsibilities. And with all these chaotic transformations happening in most areas of your life, and a lot of times you don't feel like yourself, especially if you're going through perimenopause, you're like questioning, who am I even anymore? These routines are what are going to help stabilize your energy and your mood when life is feeling that unpredictable. It's going to ground you. It's going to make you feel grounded. It's going to, be your anchor during this time. So, for example, if you decided, I am going to commit to going to bed at the same time every single night, that's going to be my routine. The benefit of that is that it's going to help support your hormones and it's going to give you a better morning because you're not going to be as exhausted. Now, this is provided that you're not suffering from sleep issues because of perimenopause. So maybe not the best example, but you get the drift. You get what I'm trying to say. So the key message here is that routines are the scaffolding that holds you when life is demanding. It's your foundation. It's what's going to keep you, it's what you're building this new version of yourself onto. So they're really, really important. Now, routines can be both good routines and they can be bad routines. So, for example, if your routine is to, the minute you wake up in the morning, have a cigarette, a grounding routine, yes. Is it a healthy routine? Hell no. So, probably something that you need to shift and create a new one because maybe you don't like the fact that you smoke. Maybe you don't like the fact that you wake up every morning and that's the first thing that you do. So when we're talking about routines, let's make sure that we don't forget that there are good routines and then there are bad routines. There are good habits and then there are bad habits. And I've been reading the book by James Clear called Atomic Habits. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's a best-selling book and it is really profound. It's the second time I'm reading it. And he really talks about how to create good habits. And what he talks about a lot is a lot of times where we get stuck with creating a habit is that we're focused on the goal. So the goal is I want to lose weight. So you're focused on yourself 10 pounds lighter or whatever the case is, right? That's your goal. Where he said, and he explains that if you're going to, if you want to create a habit that's going to be long lasting, right? And that's going to actually stick, because think about how many of your habits actually stick. How many times have you tried to lose weight and it didn't stick? And he says the reason for that is because you're focused on the end goal, the outcome, when what you should be focused on is, number one, the processes. So what are the systems that you're going to put in place that are going to get you to that point, right? So are you going to eat healthy? Are you going to exercise? Are you going to make better choices with your health? And the other thing, the most important thing, is that it's more of an internal shift that you need to make. And that is, you need to understand, or you need to think about, who is the person that I want to become, right? So do I want to become a healthy person? So now it becomes not just about the fact that you want to lose weight. It's shifting your lifestyle. So I want to become a healthy person. And in doing so, you're going to lose the weight. Of course you are, right? So the focus is more of an internal focus. So who is the person that you want to become, right? So you start thinking like that person. For example, you want to be healthier, you go to the supermarket, you're going to buy dinner, you're really hungry, you look at the options. The old version of yourself would buy, a packet of crisps and a protein bar, or whatever, a chocolate, and I don't know, a croissant, right? That's the old version of you. But the new version of you, the person that you're trying to become, is a healthy person. And so what would a healthy person buy? What would a healthy person eat, right? And so you've really got to reframe the way that you think about things. And you do that by focusing on the person that you want to become. If you want to become a writer, are you writing regularly? Why don't you create a Substack? Now, Substack is, if you don't know, it is an app where you can go and follow people, basically like Facebook, but they're all writers. And so every day you would get like a mini newsletter of whatever they're writing about. So really it's like Facebook for writers. That's sort of like a basic explanation of what it is. And so you want to become a writer. So have you created a Substack for yourself? Are you writing every week? Can you commit to writing every week? Because that is the person that you want to become, a writer. So start developing those habits. Start committing to those small wins every single week. It doesn't have to be big shifts. So that's really why we need routines and habits in our life. And we need to really look at, are the routines and habits that we have healthy? And they're going to reflect the person that you are. Okay. So if you're not happy with your life, you need to look at the person that you are, and you need to think about, who is it that I want to become, and write it down in a journal. Write it down. This is the person that I want to become. This is what they would do. This is what they look like, so that you can try and start embodying that person. You know that saying, fake it till you make it. Well, this sort of, applies to that. You're going to fake being that person until actually you've done those habits and you've started thinking like that person would think, and slowly you will move yourself towards becoming that type of person. And also another thing to remember is that this is why I love the book Atomic Habits, because it's about small changes, really small changes that we can make every single day. Small changes. We are the small wins, because anything that you want to do that's going to be lasting and impactful, you have to do over a long period of time. So this is another area where we get stuck with routines, is that, you eat healthy for a month and you can't understand why you haven't lost 10 pounds. Well, no. I mean, you've been eating unhealthy for how long, right? So you have to commit, and don't even put a timeline on it. Or maybe just with anything that you want to try, give yourself a year. If you're going to cut sugar out, do it for a year. Don't do it for a month. Don't do it for 2 months. Do it for a year before you'll actually start seeing a real shift, because these are incremental changes and they're going to build up over time. But you have to give it the time. And I'm guilty of this myself. Like, you don't see, I'm really, really bad with this myself. Like, if I don't see instant results, I'm not interested. And a lot of people, reading this book, I've realized that a lot of people are actually that way. It's not just unique to myself. You want to see quick results. But if you put it in your mind consciously that I'm going to give this 6 months, a year, and see where I am at that point. Like, just commit to that in the beginning, right? And that way you're sort of taking the pressure off yourself, because you're saying, okay, well, I've said I'm going to do this for a year. I'm not going to do this just for 6 weeks. I'm not going to do this for a month and expect huge changes. I'm going to do it for a year and then see where you are. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, so that's all about routines and habits. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is rituals, right? And so routines are the practical, repeatable actions that we do. So brushing your teeth, meal prepping, your drive to work, that's a routine. Now the rituals, this is your routine with an intention or meaning behind it. So for example, your drive to work, that's part of your routine. Let's say you work in the office 5 days a week and you drive to work every single morning. Now that's the routine. Now the ritual that you could attach to that is, I'm going to listen to a motivational podcast, or I'm going to listen to something motivational between home and work to get my vibe up for the day. Okay. It could be that, like, what I like to do is at nighttime, go to bed at the same time, and that's a routine. Going to sleep is a routine. And I like to put on subliminal messaging. I like to play in the background. I do Louise Hay. And that is my ritual associated with my sleep. And this is just going to give your routine a bit of meaning. So it's not just this, daunting thing that I have to do every single day and it's boring and I hate it, right? It takes your routine from being just something that keeps you organized to something that makes you feel nourished and something that makes you feel connected and whole. So it's really important that wherever you can, try and attach a routine, a ritual to your routine. Another one that I have is that in the mornings, I always have a cup of coffee. That's like my first thing in the morning is I have a cup of coffee. And so what I've started doing is I just take one hit. I've got a set of headphones that go in the ear, like earbud type headphones. I just put one in the ear, just one. And then on my phone, I just play some really healing music. So if you go onto YouTube, there is all these different frequencies, solfeggio frequencies, I think they're called, and they're just like healing frequencies. And I just really like that like when the kids are being crazy and demanding breakfast and things are chaotic, I just have this one little earpiece in, and it's not very loud. It's it's just loud enough that I can just hear it, and I've got that going while I sip my coffee and tend to the kids. And I really love that. I really love that little piece of the morning where I get to do that. So think about how you can combine rituals and routines so that your life feels balanced and it feels both efficient and soulful at the end of the day, right? If we talk about some of the common habit traps, let's dive a little bit more into that. If you think about, one thing is perfectionism. It's all or nothing mindset. Either I'm all in and I'm doing it 100% of the time, or I'm not doing it at all. It's okay. And James Clear talks about this in the book. Like, it's okay if today you had a piece of chocolate cake, or today you didn't go to the gym because, you know what, you had a really hectic day at work, you've got a mean headache, and you're not into it, and your body is saying to you, I need to go home to rest. Honor that. Honor that that's what your body needs in that moment. Don't forget to listen to what your body needs and what you need on a soul level. I had this the other day. I'm trying to walk more, do more walks, because when I got pregnant with my second child, which was 2 years ago, towards the end, towards the end of my pregnancy, I couldn't walk anymore. He was so heavy and he was wedged down so far that I just could not walk. It was very difficult for me to walk. And up until that point, I had been walking every single day, at least 45 minutes to an hour. I would walk my oldest to school and back in the mornings, and then I would walk to the school to fetch him and walk him back home. So I was doing a fair amount of walking, and I love walking. Walking for me is meditative, and it soothes my soul, and it's just so amazing for me. And with this pregnancy, towards the end of it, I couldn't walk. Then I had a C-section, so it took me a while to get back to walking. My recovery was a bit longer than what most people's were, and so I just haven't been walking the same since then. I haven't done as much walking, Then I started work. I went back to work, with the kids, and we moved further away from the school, and so a daily walk just wasn't doing it. And I really missed it. I really, really missed it. And now with the summer holidays, I had some time off with the boys, and we did a lot of walking, to the playground and back, because it's two boys. You can't keep them inside. You got to get them out. They need to walk it out. They need to jump it out. They need to run it out. And so we were walking twice a day to the playground and back. And so it just made me realize how much I love walking. So at the beginning of this week, I decided that I am going to try and walk every single day for 30 minutes, whether it's on my lunch break or in the morning before we go to school, or in the evenings when we get home. I'm going to try and do 30 minutes every single day. And on Monday, the day I was supposed to start, I woke up with a really bad headache. My youngest had kept me up most of the night, so I was really tired, was really exhausted, and I was working from home, and I decided at my lunch break I had planned to go and walk, to stay committed, all or nothing. But then I decided, you know what? I'm really tired, and my body really, really needs a sleep. I have this really bad headache, and I really need to have a sleep. So on my lunch break, instead of going for that walk, I lay down and I had a nap, 45-minute nap, and I felt so much better after that. So much better. And did I miss my walk? Yes. But did I need that? Absolutely. And you know what? Tuesday, I went and I walked. I did it. Wednesday, I went and I walked. I just, I've still stuck to what I was going to do. So don't have that all or nothing mindset. It's okay if you miss one day. The key is just get back to it the next day. Don't give up. Don't give up because you've stopped just for one day. The other thing is overcommitting. Oh man, and I am really, really so bad at this. So when you try and change too much at once, so you're going to overhaul all of your habits and be this completely new person, yeah, that ain't going to work. I've done this for years, and I've recently learned and told myself, because I even still try and tell myself, oh, but I can still do it. No, you can't. You've tried. You're 42. It hasn't worked. You're not going to do it. How about we just try small? And so that's what I've been doing. I've been just over the last couple of months just trying small things here and there, just small little wins, small little changes, so that my body gets used to it. Because remember how the brain works is that it wants to stay comfortable. It wants to feel like it's safe. And how it does that is through your normal habits and routines. So when you go and change everything at once, your body is your brain is going to go into shock mode and try and get you back into your comfort zone. So do small little changes one by one, and you will soon start to see, it's like a domino effect. You start with one thing, then the next and the next and the next, and you build it up over time. You're not going to change everything overnight. Don't try. It ain't going to work. The other thing is punishment mindsets. So when we start a habit that we've already associated shame to it. So for example, I need to lose weight because I look disgusting, or I need to go to therapy because I need to fix myself. This whole thing, this mindset of shaming ourselves. And so because of that, I need to create a habit to fix myself. Yeah, it's the wrong foot to be starting on. just rather reframe it as, I'm going to be this person. This is the type of person that I want to become. And so I'm going to work towards that, right? So self-supporting yourself. Your habits are going to stick if you are, when they're simple, when they are fun and attractive, when you're compassionate with yourself, and when they are flexible. Okay, so remember that. As long as you have those key elements, you're going to get your habits to stick. So back to Virgo season. And so here are some simple reset ideas that you're going to try between now and the 21st of September while we're still in Virgo season. And let's see where we are at the 21st of September. If you're still doing whatever habit it is that you've tried, keep going. And you know what? We're going to keep going until we get to Virgo season next year. That is what we're committing to. Okay, so choose one anchor habit, one thing that is going to set the tone for your day. Is it a walk? Is it journaling? Is it, doing meditation? Is it making your bed? Something as simple as just making your bed every single morning is going to set the rest of your day up to be productive. I promise you. Just do this one thing. Okay, so choose one small thing that we're going to change, one thing that's going to anchor in your day. And then you're going to try habit stacking. Now, habit stacking is where you're going to attach one new habit to an existing one. So, for example, if you, after dinner, you like to go onto social media and scroll, cool, no worries. What you're going to do is you're going to get a walking pad, and you're going to tell yourself that you're only allowed to scroll on social media while you are walking on your walking pad. So you're going to walk for 30 minutes on that walking pad, 20 minutes, whatever it is. And while you're on that walking pad, you're allowed to go on social media. Okay, so that's one example of what you could do. The next thing we're going to do is micro rituals. So small moments of intention, gratitude before you go to bed, gratitude before you eat a meal. Simple things that we can do. Simple rituals that you can do. Lighting a candle while you work, deep breathing before your meal, whatever it is, whatever small little ritual that you can attach, like what I've done, putting on a subliminal music before you go to sleep and listening to that during the night, or doing a meditation while you have your coffee in the morning. So try and think about what small ritual, listening to a motivational podcast on your way to work. Starting your day, like while you drink your cup of coffee, maybe watching a TED talk, something motivational, something inspiring that's going to lift you up and lift your vibe for the day. So something that you can attach to that cup of coffee. So try and think of what micro ritual you can incorporate into your daily life. So the key message here is that this Virgo energy that we're in, it's all about the small details. It's about where can we make the small wins? And you're going to focus on those tiny intentional shifts. If you want to eat better, right? It doesn't have to be this huge overhaul. Am I going to have, and this is a big one for me. Like, I was drinking soft drinks like crazy every day. I had to have a soft drink with my dinner. And so then I decided, you know what? I want the bubble, but I don't want the sugar. So I'm going to switch that out. I'm not going to have a soft drink anymore with my dinner. I'm going to have a sparkling water. And I mean, that was a game changer because I was trying to cut my sugar down. So what are those small wins that you can make? Do you eat a packet of crisps, a really big packet of crisps? Can you reduce it down to just a small one, or swap it out for popcorn, something healthier? Whatever it is, just think about what is that small, tiny shift that you can make. Small wins. That's the name of the game here. The small details, the small wins. Let's see what we can do. So as you reflect on today's episode, ask yourself, what's the one small shift you can make in your daily routine that would actually support you right now and where you want to go and who's the person that you want to become? Start here. That one change, done consistently, can transform the way you feel. Now, I have something really, really exciting that I'd like to announce that I've been working on over the summer, and it really aligns nicely with today's topic. So if you'd like to go deeper, this is exactly what we're going to be exploring inside the Awaken community this month. Routines, habit stacking, and this community is where we're going to, every month we will focus on a topic that is aligned with the astrological season that we're in, and we will share in the full monthly journey together. This will include bonus expert interviews, book discussions based on a book of the month related to the topic that we're focusing for the month, and weekly reflections that will bring these themes to life. It's been such a labor of love to create this space, and I'd love to welcome you in. You'll find the link in the show notes and in my bio. If you join during the month of September as a founding member, you will get 50% off your membership for life. So I really hope to see you over there. For now, let Virgo season inspire you to build rhythms that feel like home. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you more than you know, and I truly hope this episode resonated with you. And if it did, I'd be so grateful if you'd share it with someone who might need to hear it too. This podcast is a true labor of love, and it means the world to me to be able to share it with you every week. If I could ask you just one small thing in return, it's this. Please take a moment to follow, rate, and review the show. It helps me more than you know in keeping it going and helping it reach others on their healing journey. I truly cannot do this work without you. We're only just getting started, so make sure to click that follow button or the little bell so you're notified when a new episode drops. If you want to stay connected between episodes, come and follow me on my healing journey on Instagram and TikTok. You'll find the links in the show notes, or just search the Midlife Awakening and you'll find me. Until next week, be kind to yourself, take care of your heart, and remember, it's never too late to begin again. Bye for now.